Hey guys, how's it going? So today is going to be a very interesting video because today is going to be sort of like a statistics video, survey, end of the year, reading-ish, analyzing stuff. That was hard. I've seen just like a couple of videos here and there. It's not too popular, I think. I saw Books and Lala doing this and I was inspired. And the questions were originally from Perpetual Pages, and I'll leave the link to that website down below. A bunch of questions just asking you how your reading year was and everything like that in 2017. So I have my laptop. It's a lot of questions. Alright, so the first question: how many books did you read this year? And did you meet your goal? So I read around 52 books this year, give or take. I think this year is my lowest year for the amount of books that I have read. So this year I set my Goodreads goal to 5,000. Yeah, 5,000. It's really easy. You just gotta read like 13 or 14 books a day, and you can automatically meet your goal. It's super easy, and I don't know why I didn't. I read even like less than a quarter of that. So little. 52 books. No biggie. What is your most read genre? This year for me, my most read genre, surprisingly, is psychological mystery thrillers. I've read so many psychological thrillers this year, I think the most I've ever read. That's pretty awesome. So the next question asks, what is the longest and shortest books you've read this year? The shortest book I've read this year is The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakavic, my baby. And the longest book that I read this year was ACOWAR, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. So the next question asks, what is your favorite debut book in 2017? So my favorite debut book in 2017 is The Final Girls by Riley Sager. This book was just non-stop, like action, and gory, and violent, and I loved it. The ending was something I didn't even see coming. Heard it's also being made into a movie as well. So that's freaking exciting because it does take the trope of the final girl and like the slasher. So I'm really excited to see it on the big screen. The next question is, what is your favorite book published in 2017? Honestly, there are so many good books I read this year, and I will be doing my favorite books of 2017, so stay tuned. One book I will be showing you guys is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This book was so freaking beautiful. I cannot recommend it enough. I love it. Next question is favorite book not published this year. So this one is actually really interesting because I don't think I've ever heard anyone talking about this book aside two people. This book is Black Iris by Leah Rader. This book is so good. It deals with such heavy and dark topics like health, depression, sexuality, and I think it's just beautifully written. It uses like a bunch of metaphors and just a lot of flowery writing. I cannot recommend this book enough. So good. The next question is a book that lived up to the hype. I'm going to be choosing Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I watched like the first episode of the TV show and I was immediately hooked, and I found out that it was adapted from the book. And I went on Goodreads, saw a bunch of my friends' reviews. I was like, how have not heard of this book before? Almost every single review said fantastic, wonderful things about this book. So I was like, we'll see. It looks very interesting. But I was immediately hooked after watching the first episode. Read the book, it was so fucking good and so funny, I loved it. I finished the book before watching the TV show, and they are both equally amazing, both book and TV show. Highly recommend. The next question is, a book that did not live up to its hype. Honestly, there were a lot of those this year. Disappointing reads, books that I heard really great things about, but when I read it, I was lied to. It was fake, hella fake. The book I will be choosing is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. A lot of my friends have actually liked this book, and a lot of people I do know. But I, for one, did not like it at all. I was very disappointed. And also, again, I will be doing the worst books of 2017. And this is the book I will be showing you guys first. The next question is the book that felt like the biggest accomplishment. I chose The Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. Don't get me wrong, this book was really good, fantastic, I loved it. But it's just something about the genre sci-fi doesn't really pull me in. I like the book, and Pierce's writing style is fantastic. That's the thing that kept me going in the story, but the genre itself is just, I'm not really interested in sci-fi. It was very interesting, but I still wasn't interested, and I felt like I had to just go on and read, and honestly, it was really great. The ending was such a big cliffhanger, but this book just felt like a chore, I guess. It's not even that big, it's only like around 400 pages, and I read a bigger book, ACOWAR, this year, but still. So the next one is your favorite character. For this one, I'm going to go with Beatrice Soria from All the Cricket Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. Beatrice is a really smart, driven character. I really like her character development and arc in this book. She has a very, I don't know, I found her sense of humor, if you could even say that, to be very serious, and it was really funny. Another character that I really liked, though, Samantha Quinn from The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. She was fantastic. She's also disabled. I love how strong she was. She was so freaking smart, and she just shot down, like, all the negativity, everybody in her path. She was fantastic. I really loved her. The next one is your least favorite character. So for this one, I'm going with Everybody in One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McCannis. I did not like a single character in this book. In fact, this is the book I DNF'd. This is also one of the worst books I've read. Another duo that I did not like at all is Joe and Genevieve Beck from You by Carolyn Kepnes. I hated both characters, even though they're meant and portrayed as despicable. And you're not supposed to like them, but like, in a way, underlining, yes, you kind of like them because you don't like them. I hated them. They were so fucking annoying. I didn't hate them just because of how they're portrayed. I just didn't like them as characters. The next question is, what is your most shocking book moment? I'm gonna go with The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. The ending got me fucking shook. I was like, holy shit! It was so shocking. I had to reread, like, the last chapter a couple times. The next question asks, what is your favorite couple or OTP? I'm going to go with two characters in Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I just realized two characters. Of course, it would be two characters, OTP. I really like Mink and Porter from this book. I just really like their relationship and the dynamics. This was such a light, heartwarming book, and honestly one of the rare contemporaries that I read and actually really enjoyed this year. My favorite OTP, almost of all time, that I read this year, I won't say because spoilers, but they're in here, and they are so beautiful, and I love them so much. If you follow me on Goodreads, then I'm pretty sure you know who, or if you already read the books, yeah. You know who I'm talking about. Two people. Very special in my heart. I love them so much. The next question asks, what is the best written book you've read this year? Again, I'm going to go with Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is a different edition. This is the UK edition. And my third copy, in case you couldn't tell how much I love this book. I love this writing style. It's so flowery and like descriptive, full of prose. I really like it. Another writing style that I really enjoyed this year is All the Crooked Saints, Max Stiefvater as well. The next question is the book that you pushed the most people to read in 2017. Again, I'm going to go with The Good Daughter. So we have a couple repeats here, but The Good Daughter, after I read it, I fucking pushed it so hard on my channel, all my friends, and everyone who was like, do you have any recommendations, any psychological thrillers? And I was like, read this! Kind of successful in actually pushing like a couple people this year into reading this book. Emma, if you're watching this video, I'm so glad you read it, and you liked it too. I think you gave it like 4 out of 5 stars. Wasn't it good? It was so great. I loved it so much. The next one is favorite book cover of the year. I'm going to go with 2 editions actually, because UK and US. US edition of God's Grave by Jay Kristoff, and the UK edition of God's Grave by Jay Kristoff. I even have the plastic shiny thing over it because it's just so beautiful I don't want to take it off. The next question asks, what book made you cry the most? Alright, are you guys ready for the answer? Because the book that I cried the most at, I don't cry. I don't know what this says about me as a person, but yeah, this year I don't think I've cried in any books. I mean, internally, yeah, maybe I've died and cried a little inside, but honestly on the exterior, nope. I don't think I've cried in any book, actually, to be honest. I mean, the last time I cried... Honestly, I can't even remember the last time I've cried. Oh, wait. The last time I cried is when I realized and remembered I was still single and ugly. So, there's that. The next question is, the book that made you laugh a lot. So, the book that made me laugh a lot is, again, Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I was not expecting to enjoy this book or like it as much because it's like a mystery thriller. It isn't a thriller in a sense. It's more suspense and mystery, but there's a lot of drama, and it was just so funny. The dynamics between mother and children and just family overall, and the cast of characters, it was just so funny. I love her writing style. The next question is, a new favorite author you discovered this year. So for this one, I'm going to go with Little Monsters by Kara Thomas, even though I have read one of her books last year, I believe. I didn't like it as much, and I honestly didn't think I would read any more of her other books, but I actually really enjoyed Little Monsters, and I'm actually really excited to see her other work and read her other books as well. But I really enjoyed this. I think it's like a little gem. It's rare too because this book is YA. Let me just tell you how rare it is to find good YA mystery thrillers. It's just, you just can't. The next question asks, what is your guilty pleasure read of the year? Honestly, it's probably like a couple of free online like adult romance books that I found. I read on my phone. So honestly can't remember because I don't think I finished them. So wasn't anything too exciting. Next question is, favorite book you reread this year? For this one, I went with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I reread this, and I read the paperback edition. Super floppy. and so big. I read this again before I read ACOWAR, which was a little bit disappointing, but that's another video for another time. The last question asks, were you happy with your reading year, and what will you do different in 2018? Okay, so yeah, I was really happy actually with the amount of books I've read this year and the certain genres and books I've read. There were some negative aspects, but we'll go into that in another video. For 2018, I would really like to read different genres and branches of other books, I guess, or branch out to different genres of books. More fiction, adult books, literary fiction, I guess you'd say. More like epic fantasies. And another thing I would like to do is probably read less YA, or just in general more YA books that have been recommended to me through BookTube, because honestly, half of the books that have been recommended to me through BookTube I've been so disappointed in, and I've been just let down, and the feels, man, I don't want that for 2018. I'm not sure when this video will be up, but if it is during the new year, well, happy new year then. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all soon.